Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have not watched the part one of this video where I reviewed these three blenders, go watch it. I'm going to put a link to the video in the description so that you can just click and watch it. Okay, you need to watch that video. This is basically the part two where I will be talking about how to care for your blenders. It is very important, okay, so that these gadgets last you a long time. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to do another part two on how to care for your air fryers. Today we are doing blenders. As you can see, these blenders are dirty, very dirty. I just finished blending beans. Prior to that, I blended pepper mix, and I want to, what's the word? I want to clean them. Now, the first thing you want to do is you need to know that, I know this is common knowledge, but I'm still going to say it here in case there's somebody that doesn't know. You see these bases of your blender, do not immerse them into water. You are not supposed to immerse them into water. You're supposed to clean them with a damp cloth and dry them up. That is the number one care for your blender. On no circumstance should this go into water. Not even a very wet cloth. A damp cloth. Clean with a damp cloth and dry it immediately. You don't want water getting into this base. It's going to spoil the blender. Number two, you grab these jars and you just give it a quick rinse. All right, now you want to clean this up, give it a quick rinse. Start by rinsing these jars. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse these jars. I'm going to show you the number three step to care for these blenders. Rinse these jars. Don't use iron sponge. If there's something stuck on it, don't use a spoon to scrape the inside. Don't use a spoon to remove something from the inside. You are scratching the body of your blender and it's going to start looking haggard. This one, 5 years and counting, can barely see any scratch on it. I make sure nothing, no spoon, no knife, all those ones that you want to remove something from inside the blender, you'll be using knife to scratch the body, to scratch the inside. You are spoiling the blender and making it look ugly. Okay, don't use any sharp objects on it. If you have to use anything inside, use your silicone spoons or a plastic spoon, something that's not going to leave a mark on your blender. That's it. So I'm going to rinse this off and I'm going to show you how to wash it. All right, so let's rinse it. Next step after rinsing is to grab some water, emphasis on water. All right, we still have some particles in there. It's not like I just rinse it and add some soap, your normal dishwashing liquid. Okay. Add some of that. I'm also going to add some vinegar. White vinegar is more appropriate, but what I have is apple cider, so I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar just to get away some of that smell from, what's it called, from the blender. Okay, so that it's not smelling like beans, guys, so that the next time you are blending pepper, your pepper is not smelling like beans. You get, because I blended beans in this so that next time I want to eat stew, rice and stew, I will not be getting beans taste. That's the first point of the vinegar, to get away any nasty smell from the blender. And basically what you're going to do now is to just turn on your blender and blend it. Okay, so next up, just open the blender, pour out the water and rinse. And also get a sponge to wash the body of the blender just in case there was anything that spilled on it. So I'm just going to do that. Obviously you can see that something spilled on it. Honestly, this blender smells so fresh. It smells so fresh, like thanks to the apple cider vinegar. Smells so fresh. So you just want to rinse it off. Do you see I didn't do anything to the inside of the blender? Do you see that it's clean? So you don't have to stress yourself. The blender has self-clean mode. So just rinse. Even the cup is going to be clean, the top rather. And that's it, your clean blender. And there you have it, your clean blender. Clean, clean, and no smell of beans or pepper. Like, smells so fresh, guys. So fresh. I didn't wash this. You can wash the top. Obviously, wash the top of this and the body of the blender. Those ones you have to wash yourself. For any other parts that the soap is going to touch, you are good. I'll just get a piece of cloth and you're going to start wiping a damp piece of cloth. I'm just going to start wiping the corners, the edges, everywhere to make sure that, you know, this doesn't look bad. We're also going to dry it off. Once you are done cleaning it up, we are going to dry. This is how to care for your blender. Obviously, I blended beans. There are some splatters of beans and pepper and whatnot in the corners. So just going to go ahead to clean it properly. Same thing with this. The inside. This is just a paper towel. I'm going to use it to dry. You can use a paper towel or anything that you have to dry. But please make sure you dry. You don't want water sitting on this. Do not want water sitting on it at all, at all. And you see everything is looking nice and sweet, nice and clean. This is what you want. As you guys can see, everything is looking very nice, very clean. So that's how you clean up your blender. I wish you guys can smell this blender. They smell absolutely divine right now. They smell so good. So don't miss out the vinegar. You don't want to blend pepper and it be smelling like okra. Okay, I'm tasting like okra. So the number I've told you, so the number three tip I have to give when you want to blend, you start by adding water to the bottom. As you can see, most of these blenders, their blades are down, except the Ninja that has like a straight blade. Let me show you. Except this one that has a straight blade. Most blenders have their they have the blade down. So start with a bit of water here, then add the ingredients. Also chop your ingredients into smaller sizes. Yes, we know that these blenders are high. That's the number 4 tip. We know that these blenders are high duty blenders and they're very powerful, but you don't want to overwork them. Okay, chop them. Your tomatoes, don't go and put one big onions. The blender will struggle. Okay, will struggle. Cut your onions 4-5 pieces, tomatoes 2-3 pieces, starter shaders, your bell peppers at least 2-3 pieces. Okay, it will be easier for the blender to blend, but then when you just put big ingredients. Also, I don't subscribe to using these blenders for smoothie. Me, I feel like if you don't see a smoothie function on your blender, that blender is not for smoothie. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be blending ice, especially because your smoothies are frozen ingredients. It's not supposed to be blending ice. This Ninja has its own smoothie maker, dedicated smoothie maker. If you did not see smoothie on the body or something on the body of the blender, it's not for frozen things. Okay, you need to also make sure you read your manual. Read the manual, is very important. If you see that the thing told you not to blend ice. Don't go and put ice inside. It's not every blender you can use to blend smoothie, okay? The blender will struggle. Know the watts, the watts of your blender and work with it appropriately. If you know that your blender is not strong, don't go and put beans. Don't go and say you want to make corn as a pap and start blending corn inside your beans. Like, that's one of the things that kills your blender. You already know that this is a very small blender. It's not a strong blender. It's not a heavy duty blender. You go and buy corn and millet. You say you want to make pap with the blender. The blender will die now because it's going to struggle. That's another tip, guys. Just know the strength of your blender and work with it accordingly. Because everybody is blending all sorts online doesn't mean it was blend. So work with the strength of your blender. There are some blenders you cannot blend corn and millet inside. You get, you go and put dry corn, dry beans inside blender, that you know that the blender is barely blending tomato smooth. You go and put corn to try your luck. When you try your luck, your blender will pack up. Oh. Let me just tell you, your blender is gonna pack up. So make sure, just work with the strength of your blender, right? Know the strength of your blender and work with it. It will last. It's better you know that it's only tomato and pepper and maybe fruits or something you can blend. And it lasts you until you can get something stronger. Than for you to do coconut egg and put millet inside or corn, dry corn inside, and it will pack up. Is it better? It's not better that way. So know the strength of your blender, chop your ingredients into little pieces. Then the final tip I will give you. See, guys, your blender is not supposed to be. Some of you will on blender. You go and watch TV for 2 hours, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. By the time you get back to the kitchen, the motor is off. It has packed up. It is. You start seeing smoke. It will be smelling. Then you not say, these people are sold me fake blender. It's not fake blender. I don't know how to use the blender. See, this new generation blender. This is a new Gucci mix, and this is Ninja. My old Ninja didn't have this. This Ninja, if you blend, right, it blends for only 60 seconds and goes off. You have to press start again. It will blend for another 60 seconds, maybe 60 or 80 seconds. But I think it's 60 seconds. It doesn't go more than 60 seconds. It must blend and stop. If you want to blend for, I will not even do generally anything more than 3 minutes. I think it's too much. You need to blend maximum 3 minutes and stop. Me, I will do like 2 minutes and stop. Stop for like a minute. Let the blender breathe for 1 minute, then continue for another 2 to 3 minutes. This one, I think it goes 3 minutes, after which it will stop. That is why manufacturers are now putting this in place to make sure that these machines are programmed that once you press start like this, it will not blend forever. It will blend and stop. You have to go there and put it back on again. But if you don't have that kind of blender, don't just plug it to fire and go and watch Telemundo, abi K drama. Welcome to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye. And I guarantee that if you follow these tips, your blenders are going to last you for at least 10 to 15 years. Bye, guys.